Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Welcome back to Abu's Family Life. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Tanya. Juma Mubarak. Today is Friday, so we will be going to the masjid today. It is going to be Hajj. My husband told me it's going to be Hajj, and it is, I believe, September the 25th or 26th. I'm not really sure. I guess one of the head imams will, one of the sheikhs will let us know about that. So I'm not too sure about that, but when I find out, I'll let you guys know too, especially for the new shahadas. So don't worry, you're not alone. Even though I've been a practicing Muslim for 2006, I really have been like teaching myself. Like I really didn't have. I worked almost from sundown to sunup almost, and so I'm really happy that I'm having the opportunity to, I don't know, to have more resources. And it's good to be married to, it's good to be married to someone who has insight and who can kind of like answer some of my questions. And then if he doesn't know the answer, then he always guide me to somebody who do. So alhamdulillah, I am really blessed for that. I wanted to speak about